So you want to learn how to make money online as an English tutor. I can help you with that. In this video, I'm going to take you through all of the steps of the process to becoming a community tutor, specifically on ITALKI, but I'll take you through which type of teacher you should submit for based on your qualifications. I'll take you through the whole application process and hopefully help you feel prepared for your first lesson. I have been a community tutor on ITALKI since January of this year, and as of yesterday, I have now completed 200 lessons on the platform, and this is something that I am going to continue to do well into the future because I just genuinely enjoy it. I don't have a college degree, I don't have any certifications to be a teacher, so how am I tutoring English online? Don't most platforms require you to have both a college degree and a teaching certificate? Yeah, most platforms do, but not ITALKI. And from my perspective, ITALKI is a fantastic platform. It connects me with students, I can charge what I want, I can set my own schedule, I can create any type of lessons that I want to teach and that interest me. I pretty much have complete control, but they do have certain rules in place to protect both the teacher and the student in case of a last-minute cancellation or a no-show. So you've heard me say community tutor a few times. There's actually two different types of teachers on the platform. There's professional teachers and what I am, which is a community tutor. Here's the difference. In order to qualify to be a professional teacher, you must, and I'm gonna be reading this off my computer because it's a lot, you must be over the age of 18, have a bachelor's degree or a teaching qualification. You must submit a 1 to 3 minute introduction video. You have to upload your CV, give them references and employment statements. You must be native or have a C2 level in the languages that you'll be teaching. Now, if you want to become a community tutor, you must be over the age of 18. You must submit a 1 to 3 minute introduction video and be native or C2 level in the languages you'll be teaching. So that's why I can tutor on ITALKI. So yeah, it doesn't take much to become a community tutor, but I do think it's important to note that just because you are over the age of 18 and native or nearly native in a language doesn't mean you'll be a good tutor. People are paying you money for your time. You don't want to waste their time or their money, and you can't just show up unprepared. And that is an issue that a lot of students have while working with community tutors and even professional teachers on ITALKI. So I'm going to try in this video to give you some tips to hopefully help avoid that so that you will be worth the time and the money. Okay, let's get started. So you are about to apply to become a community tutor on ITALKI. But before you even apply, I think it's important to sit down and just be honest with yourself. I want you to sit down and write a list of all of the things that you think you could offer a student, the things that will make their time with you worthwhile. So do you know a lot of the current slang? Are you familiar with a lot of business English? Can you help people prepare for interviews? Do you have a lot of tools to learn a language? Because maybe you're learning one yourself. So write any of those ideas that you have down and put it to the side, and you'll come back to it later. Okay, so now let's move on to the application. Whether you are applying to be a professional teacher or a community tutor, you will need a few of the same things, so I'll go over that. Professional teachers do have to submit a bit more, so I will leave a link with all of that information in the description bar below. The first thing that both teacher types need is a good profile picture. Now this step was easy for me because I just used one of my acting headshots that looked kind of teachery, but I understand that's not everyone can do that. That's not a thing. So, some of my tips. Make sure you're the only person in the picture and your face is in the photo, not too far away. And also make sure your face isn't taking up like the entire frame because that's like too much. Back up, calm down. You can really just have a friend take it for you on their phone. As long as the background is pretty clean and you have a professional outfit on, you're not wearing a hat or sunglasses, you should be good. And like make sure it's not a selfie because like something about like arms being like right there, just yeah, don't. And if you don't have a friend to hold the phone for you, just like put it up on like a shelf, put it in a cabinet, and please smile. It doesn't even have to be a toothy smile. Like just look pleasant. Don't look like you're angry. It's not that hard. The next step is writing your introduction. I can't really help you with this. It's hard. It's like the most difficult part. Like I spent hours trying to write my introduction. Go back to that little list I told you to write. And I would say, write a bit about yourself. If you have any qualifications, this is where to put it. Yeah. Keep it focused on what you can offer. Don't just have it fully focused on you and your life and what you like. I think it's important through every step of your profile to make sure that it is focused on what the student can get from booking with you. Okay, moving on to the video introduction. This is something that I can actually help you with. You can definitely film this on your phone. The introduction that I still have on my profile is the original one that I filmed back in January, and I filmed it on my phone. I'm going to update it soon though, because it's like not at all what I want it to be. Anyway. In preparation to record your video introduction, I would recommend not writing a script, actually. I'd recommend just like making bullet points, because if you write yourself a script, you might feel like you have to stick to it and get a little bit in your head about it. But the video introduction is about showing you and your personality. Some of my tips, I'm gonna read this off my computer again. So some bullet points you might wanna put down is introduce yourself, just like a, hi, I'm Melissa and I'm gonna teach you on ITALKI. Then the languages you speak, I speak English, specify your accent. Why do I keep speaking like that? Specify your accent. Take a second to mention some of your hobbies or some of your interests, especially for conversation practice lessons. People look for tutors that have similar interests to them. So I've had people book lessons with me just off of the interests that I stated in my introduction video. If you do have experience teaching, briefly talk about it. And again, go back to that list that I told you to write. Let the students know what you have to offer and what they can possibly expect from a lesson with you. The video only has to be like 1 to 3 minutes, so you don't need to sit down and write like a million bullet points. You can keep it simple. Now for the fun part. While you're filming, and I know most people don't find this fun, keep your phone horizontal, not vertical. This is actually a video that's gonna be unlisted on YouTube. So the second thing is lighting is extremely important. So even if you don't have a nice camera, having good lighting is going to make it look so much better. I have the iPhone XR, I think, but it's like full HD. Like it has a pretty good camera on it, but I do wanna show you the difference that lighting can make. So this is what I look like in front of my nice lighting setup and my ring light. Natural lighting is also fantastic. I'd recommend it. Don't go out and buy lights if you don't need it. Bad lighting. Now this is like not so good lighting. It's a little bit dim and you can already tell the difference. It looks softer, it doesn't look as crisp and clean. Also, keeping your camera at eye level is gonna be very important. So like somewhere around here, because if it's up too high, it does not look cute. Or if it's too low, it just does not, it doesn't look cute. If you're filming on a laptop, put it up on a laptop stand or some books so that eye level. Definitely don't be backlit. The background should not be lighter than your face. Which means if you're filming near a window, make sure it's not behind you. I know it can be difficult to feel comfortable in front of a camera, and this might even be your first time ever filming something that's gonna be seen by people where you have to be presenting yourself well. So I do have a few tips. Don't be afraid to do multiple takes of your video. Like, you don't have to get it perfect the first time. Honestly, block out like 30 minutes or an hour where you're just gonna be focusing on filming the video. Keep doing it until you feel yourself getting more comfortable. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just about showing your personality and letting people know what to expect from you. Oh, and I almost forgot. Speak slowly and speak clearly, but also like still keep it feeling fun. Like, don't just be like, hi, I'm Melissa. Nice to meet you. I hate when people do that. Editing, woo! You don't have to be fancy with it. Honestly, if you're gonna do anything, it is definitely worth taking the extra time to add subtitles. It's really helpful from the student's perspective. And other than that, just cut out like awkward parts. That's it. Okay, so you have filled out your application, you've edited and uploaded your video. What's next? So once you have submitted your application, within 10 days, you are either going to be pre-approved or denied. If you're rejected, it's fine. If it was for a specific reason, like maybe they didn't like your profile picture, you can change that and reapply. And if it's because they already have too many tutors or teachers in the language that you applied for, try again at a later date. But if you were pre-approved, there are a few things that you will have to do before you're able to start taking lessons. So ITALKI will have a few videos for you to watch and a few quizzes for you to take, but it's all like really simple and it's just for you to learn more about the platform. And then you will set up a video call with teacher services. It's no big deal. Honestly, they're just giving you all the information you need to be successful in the platform. And you can ask questions if you have them, but it's low pressure. It's not like an interview or anything. You're not gonna be put on the spot. So you can just breathe. I was nervous for it. I thought it was an interview and I was freaking out. So once you're pre-approved, you do only have 10 days to do all of those things. So setting up the call with teacher services, doing the quizzes, watching the videos, have to all be done within 10 days of being pre-approved, or else you will be denied. So get on it. Okay, so you did all of the pre-approval steps and now your profile has been activated and you can begin. The first thing you should do is create a lesson type. So turn on your trial lesson, add a description to it, and then create at least one other lesson type. Chances are, if you're a community tutor, that lesson type will be conversation practice, because honestly, that is by far the most popular, at least in my experience. I would recommend looking at a bunch of other tutors and teachers' profiles and seeing what they have in their descriptions for their lessons. It can give you a lot of good ideas as far as what to title your lessons and what to put in the descriptions of them as well. But this step is really up to you. It kind of depends on your personality and what you're looking to get out of this platform and what you're looking to give with this platform. But again, as I've said a few times now, have the focus be on what you have to offer the students, what they can expect to get out of your lessons. Even if it's just conversation practice and it seems kind of self-explanatory, let them know what to expect. Setting your availability. This is where I went very wrong when I first started out on ITALKI, because in that like teacher services briefing, I guess would be a good way to describe it, they talk about setting your prices low and setting your availability to be very open. So like a lot of available hours during the day. So that's what I did. That's good advice, but it didn't go as planned for me. So that first like week, I pretty much made every hour that I was like actually available in real life also available on ITALKI. My prices were really low. And within like 24 hours of like making my lessons available, yeah, my entire life was booked for the following week. The whole week, fully booked. I didn't even have like a single like free hour because I didn't want to decline anyone's lesson requests. So yeah. I went from having just like a part-time job and hoping to have like this little side hustle to having like a part-time job and the lowest paying full-time job ever. Please don't make that mistake. But I learned pretty fast that any hour that I make available on my schedule, I should at least expect it to be booked. If it's not, that's fine, but I should be mentally prepared to work for that hour. Just be realistic with yourself. You can always open up more times, but you don't really want to cancel lessons once they're already booked. When I was first starting out and my prices were low, people were so pushy with me. People acted like they were paying me like $200 for an hour. They were like bossing me around. I dealt with a lot of that from a lot of different people. So the thing that I want to tell you is you are going to have to say no to a lot of people. For a lot of things. Like, no, I don't do test prep. No, I'm not certified to do test prep. I can't freaking help you with test prep. It's not my thing. Go to another. Just remind yourself that you're in control, and no matter how many times someone asks you or bugs you about something, you don't have to do it. There are plenty of other teachers on this platform that will probably fit that student better, and there are plenty of other students on this platform that are going to be better fit to you. So don't sweat it. On a slightly more positive note, prepping for your first lesson. How do you do it? What do you do? What should you expect? Now, if you're doing a lesson type other than just conversation practice or a trial lesson, you probably have a plan for that, and I'm sure it'll go well. You might learn what does work, what doesn't work during the lesson, and don't be afraid to ask for feedback. But if you're a community tutor that is doing either a trial lesson or conversation practice, here is what I would recommend doing to prepare yourself. Refresh yourself on English grammar. People who are learning English currently probably know more about English grammar than you do. They maybe can't use it as effortlessly as you can. That's why they're here, but you have to be prepared to correct people on grammar and know all of the terms that they're talking about. I know it might seem ridiculously simple, but especially if you didn't go to school to be an English teacher and the last time you learned about articles was like 5 to 10 plus years ago, just refresh yourself. Even if you think you know everything already, like just do it. And also remember that each student is different. Some people want corrections. Some people specify that they don't want corrections. So you can definitely ask the student what they would prefer, but go into it assuming that everyone wants to be corrected on every single thing that they're saying. I would also recommend making a huge document full of conversation starters and conversation topics. You can honestly just Google easy conversation starters, easy conversation topics, interesting conversation topics. Because there are some students who prefer to have a specific topic for an entire lesson. There are others who'd prefer to just have a natural conversation, but you have to make sure that you have enough ideas, enough questions, and enough topics so that you don't run out of them during the lesson. Sometimes you'll get like an hour-long lesson with someone who just is shy or doesn't want to talk, but you have to be able to fill up that time and make them feel comfortable. And having a document with things to fall back on is a great safety net in those situations where you just can't think of anything else. But right before you start that first lesson, just know that you've got this. It's probably going to be easier than you thought, and it'll be fun. I tried to cover as much as I could in this video, but I know that it wasn't everything, so I'll leave some links in the description bar below with some more information. But please feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions about ITALKI as a platform or the application process or just being a tutor in general. I would be more than happy to answer them. I really could not recommend ITALKI more. It holds a very special place in my heart because it has allowed me to have some really amazing, life-changing conversations, and I've been able to empower people to feel more confident while speaking English, which is insane. Like, I know how hard it is to feel confident while speaking another language. The fact that I can help people feel more confident, insane. But I wish you best of luck on your ITALKI journey. I support you. I hope that you have fun. I hope you enjoy it. But like this video if you like it, subscribe, hit the bell, and comment below if you'd like to see more ITALKI related videos in the future. And I will see you next week.